pleasure to be here. My name's Dan Jones. I'm here tonight. I'm very excited about this because it's not very often my two spheres of interest, which are music and history, collide. But here they are. I can't think there's anyone in the world who puts them together better than Sabaton and Joakim in particular, the the creative heart of the band. So we're going to have a discussion tonight about the new album, about history, about music, about the way those two things feed together. But we really want to get your feedback, your questions, put them to Joakim. We're going to have a roving mic, and we will have a great time. So, Legends, tomorrow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's an amazing album. It's your 11th studio album.
Yes.
Plus a few live albums.
Yeah.
Incredibly productive. Congratulations on all of that. I saw a quote on Reddit the other day that said, metal and history go hand in hand. And when I think back over the history of metal, I mean, when I was growing up, I was listening to Iron Maiden, right? Maiden just built their repertoire on historical songs. Alexander the Great, I remember Mother Russia, those kind of real epic songs, right? And then you've got, I suppose, so many other acts have kind of drawn all the way through Rage Against the Machine. I suppose there's been this historical element. What was it that came to you first? Was it music, or was it an interest in history?
Music, really. I think people get this wrong. Actually, we're massive history, nerds already. But I think our music made us massive history nerds, rather than the other way around. Because in the early years, music was just that's what we wanted to do. Writing lyrics was a necessary evil. And all of a sudden we had this song that became Primo Victoria. It's about D-Day. So we thought, this song has a big sound to it. We can't sing about beer or motorcycles to this track. So we thought we need a big subject. So we thought 6th of June 1944. Yeah, D-Day. And all of a sudden it was interesting. And writing lyrics was no longer a necessary evil, and we decided, you know what? Maybe we should make one album about military history. That was 20 years ago.
And what was the reaction to that when you did it? I mean, had bands like Maiden set the scene for you to give you permission to go down that route?
In a sense, yes, but I would say also Motorhead, and there were, I think we're one of the few bands who are only doing this, but there are so many metal bands who's done it, on a song here or there,
Metallica one.
Yeah.
But you've got such a wide range within the music as well. I mean, Legends is an album that is squarely, well, it sort of roves across history, doesn't it? I mean, you've tackled sort of World War I, World War II in the past, but Legends really is a track by track kind of greatest hits in a way. How did you pick those topics?
It was our personal greatest hits.
Right.
We like to do themed albums, and so many times we wanted to do a song about Napoleon, but we felt like, what's the theme? We didn't want to do a whole album about the Napoleonic Wars, even though we could. I mean, there's enough interesting stuff there, but there were so many we wanted. I mean, for me personally, I really wanted Alexander the Great. That was my number one, But in the same way, when we did an album called Great War before, my first thing was Christmas Truce. And I fucked that one up. Because it didn't come on the album later. I'm not saying there's going to be a Legends Part 2 here, by the way. But no, I tried with Alexander. And the main theme I have and the idea was fantastic. But the rest was disappointing. Actually, it was shit. But so I decided, let's not do that now. So, yeah. The trick was, what is a legend? And the definition we came up with, which would go for us, would be something like the remembered far, once their time has passed, sort of, if everybody who saw you alive is dead, and their grandchildren's grandchildren, and you're still being remembered today for something, then that would qualify you. And we didn't want to go too far back, because we do like to deal with history. We don't want to deal with myths, even though I find it hugely interesting. So we decided on Senusret III, on the cycle of songs. That's 1,800 years before Christ. And the last one we have is Napoleon, around 1800 after Christ.
Yeah. So there's a symmetry to that. The first track on the album, Templars, I had a personal interest in. I mean, I spent a few years with the Templars, writing about them. And so tell us a little bit about that track in particular, because the video is amazing. I mean, you've got a full-on and not even a history documentary. You've got a full-on kind of HBO historical episode there. So tell us a little bit about where that first track on the album came from.
That's the one we wanted Templars that were among our also greatest hits. The only problem was there wasn't a single person.
Right.
Most of them are about a single person, but we decided to make an exception.
Yeah. You didn't think you'd do Jack de Molay, The Last Master, Burned at the Stake.
Yeah.
Like you broadened it out into the whole of the order.
Yeah, exactly. And it's because we wanted that. Sometimes the way you want to tell a story, I had this idea of a song, and already while doing basically the intro of the song only, I mean, you've all heard it by now, I knew this is the Templar song that we had been planning and thinking about. So I sent it to my pal or bass player, long colleague of mine that we've been together with the same band since 1999. Send it to him. I think I have a song for the album. Guess the legend. And it took him 15 seconds, Templars. So at that point we knew, like, yeah, this is it.
There's an amazing sort of mythology around the Templars, isn't there? And I mean, what was it that drew you to that kind of order in particular? I mean, why not the Teutonic Knights or the Hospitallers or the Knights of
I think it's the mix of the historical facts, but also the myths, the conspiracy theories, and all of that. It makes for a hugely attractive thing, you know? I don't know, it's the same thing with, let's say we have Vlad the Impaler on the album as well. And I'm pretty sure it's a work of fiction that keeps him alive as a legend, that we remember him.
Yeah.
I don't think most people would know of Vlad the Impaler if it wasn't for Bram Stoker's Dracula. So the mix of myth, legend, conspiracy theory, whatever it is, I don't know, I don't buy into most of those things, but I find it hugely appealing somehow.
Tell us a bit about the making of the video. Has everyone seen the video for Templars?
Yeah.
Who likes the video for Templars?
Yeah. Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema.
Absolute metal as well.
Absolute cinema, absolute metal. There's your first, well, probably not your first review. There's your best review. Tell us a little bit about making absolute cinema and absolute metal.
It starts in Serbia with the pool noodles. Because that's what we had for training. Well, they were swords, but it felt like pool noodles. And, yeah, costume fitting. We tried to get us, I mean, obviously in those days, armor weren't standardized, or, you know, uniforms weren't standardized as they are in these days. So it was tricky to try and get, we wanted to get as close to time correct weaponry and armor. And it turns out that there was a reconstruction group called the White Eagle in Serbia who had a lot of this stuff from that era. And so this is what we wore, is what these people who have a huge interest in preserving history, what they wore for their reconstructions. So this is not, you know, for cinema or Hollywood stuff. That's the real deal we're wearing. So, yeah, a bathroom break is 30 minutes.
Have you ever seen Armored MMA?
No. Is that a thing?
Brother, you need to see this. Okay. It's great, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
So, this is 30 kilos of armour with a helmet, and inside the octagon, MMA style, and it's the only thing you can't do is stab and gouge eyes. Everything else goes. So it's full MMA.
Stab? Do they have weapons?
Yeah, they're smashing each other on the head with axes and shit. I'm telling you. Okay, stay here for the next.
I'll stick with the bull
40 odd
noodles.
minutes. But yeah, so it's intense wearing the armour, right?
Yeah,
It's a long day's filming. And talk us through the story. Did you storyboard that? You build, because it is very cinematic.
Yeah, we're leaning into that. I mean, the song in itself is about the Templars in general. The video, though, we're hinting at the myth that they had a secret, and we're trying to preserve it. And in the end, Tobbe, our returning guitar player, burns the evidence. You know. So, but it was a very, what do you call it? It was way different than we thought, because being there on the first day, trying the armor, one thing, getting the instructions, that's one thing. Then we did we can call it choreography.
Yeah.
The battle scenes when we're supposed to die, everything like that. You have a soft piece of, you know, pretend weapon. You know, it's like a pool noodle basically, and you're training your moves, you're getting everything right, and then like, yeah, we got this. But then, you know, a day later, you're in all of that gear. Your weapon is made out of real steel, and not sharpened to that extent, but you can still kill people with it. And we're supposed to reenact that, and you're supposed to stab, and yeah, you're supposed to miss a guy by this much. But the sword is pretty damn long, and we're pretty shit actors. So we tried, yes, but I mean, we were so fucking full of ourselves. Oh, this is gonna kick ass. And now when we see our death and battle scenes, it's like, oh shit, I should have dared to step in a little bit closer. Oh shit, no, you can see it's not hitting. Oh.
You're fine.
And there's
Look amazing.
you look amazing. But there's another great video that's come out of this album as well, which was filmed here in London.
Yes.
Is it the Natural History Museum, or is it Natural History Museum? Hordes of Khan.
And Harrow School for the scene where the kids are playing.
Right.
So it's split into two different locations.
And everyone's seen this video? Yeah. This video is... Okay, this video is amazing. It's funny as well. And I think that's something that really got me. And there's one particular vignette, you probably all know what I'm going to say. It's when Genghis Khan is taking a look at the map of the world, and he's looking for Mongolia, which he expects to cover half the globe. And it's this like piddly bit above China. He's like, what the fuck is this? And slashes the map in half with his...
Have you noticed it?
No, it's brilliant because it's humorous. And I think that if there's one thing that's sometimes misunderstood about metal and about history, it's kind of like it's dark, it's everything's miserable. But actually, there's a lot of humour and a lot of life and a lot of light that goes on. So talk to us a little bit about the theme of humour in your work.
Well, I think we do take the stories and the battles pretty damn serious, but we are unable to take ourselves too serious. And I think it's kind of normal these days that most bands have performance music videos, and I hate to pretend sing, or everybody hates to pretend to play. I mean, if you play for real, that's fine. But to stand there and do the same take over and over again, having somebody throwing water buckets at you for Bismarck, if you've ever seen that, it's not very fun, you know? You're on a ship in the middle of the night, it's cold as hell, and somebody's standing there smiling, throwing ice cold buckets of water in your face. But doing something like this, where we get to also tease, like you said, we like to put these Easter eggs in. You need a little bit of an understanding about history to understand that's why he tears down the map, you know?
Yeah. But if you don't, it's still a cool scene, right?
Yeah.
It's still shot. He's just come alive. He's kind of marching through the. You know, you can get through the video on a number of different levels, which I thought is smart.
Thank you. We have a video coming out tomorrow, actually.
Congratulations! Tell us about it.
It's filmed here in the UK as well, and it's us in the band. It's for the song "I Emperor," Napoleon, and we are all having a board game. So we go to a pub together, and then they set up a game room for us, and we recreate the Battle of Waterloo in the basement. I'm not going to say anything else, but it's not 100% historically correct, as you will. Yeah, all of you will understand, even without any historical knowledge, will understand why.
Have you ever seen the film Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yes, well, a long time ago.
There was a lot about Hordes of Khan reminded me of Bill and Ted, because actually you've got this assembly, you've got the Templars, and you've got various different personages from throughout history gathered in the museum while Genghis Khan walks about. And who's seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Yeah. Well, in my opinion, the greatest historical movie ever made. But I'm prepared to be disagreed with on that. Okay, so there's humour, there's life, there's jokes, but there's also a serious side as well. I mean, tell us a bit about the more serious stories on the album. Which of them did you come to feeling a kind of a more, maybe a greater depth of responsibility, or?
The biggest, wow moment for me was we were dealing with Miyamoto Musashi, samurai. So I'd come across him, being interested in history. But if I feel like this could be a Sabaton song one day, I don't do research on it until we do the song.
Okay.
Because I want to be like a kid in a candy store. I want to be like excited. Because that's when I read the first time these stories. That's when I'm most excited. And that's when I want to be able to write the lyrics. I want to have the music, So I'd had this plan, okay, we have this song, I have this from Musashi, and I fully expected warrior samurai, which he was. But then I found out he wrote the Book of Five Rings, and we're talking moving into philosophical side of things. I wasn't prepared for that at all, so I had to sort of restructure the whole idea of the song and everything. And I don't know, the song is out, has been out for a while now, but the pre-choruses there are from his book, The Book of Five Rings, borrowed or stole, I guess you could call it.
Tributes to. But I mean, this is a guy who also fought 60 duels, right?
Yes.
Did I read, you'll know better than me on this, but is it true that he never took a bath or cut his hair because he was afraid of being vulnerable?
I don't know.
Just feels pretty meta.
I've seen it. I've seen the claims, but I don't know. You know.
But that's an interesting song, and that felt to me like it was a real move away from the mainstream, as with the Egyptian song as well. You know, you've really mixed up these kind of mainstream topics with some real deep cuts as well. Talk to us about how you do the research behind the song. So you just said that you take your time, you don't start researching until you come to the song. But then what's the process? Is it Wikipedia or is it the British Library? Which is
it could be anything.
Right.
Sometimes a documentary. It's really hard to. I would like to answer this question, but I can't. But I can give you examples because every song is different. And with the cycle of songs we're talking that you mentioned here, we couldn't find that much about Senusret III. But during his time, it's not unheard of, but as far as I understood, it was quite rare that a pharaoh was deified while he was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, and his people wrote this cycle of songs in honor of him. And I basically used those to craft most of the lyrics in that, because that's the only stuff I could really find about him. So that's sort of, I guess we wrote a song calling it historical from propaganda that he probably ordered his people to sing about him, you know.
This was in the back of his mind, 1800 BC. So if I just get this written down now, then I think in about 3,000 years' time we'll be rocking to the. So, I mean, how many of the songs that are on the album came from the session? Are there more songs that didn't make the album?
Yeah, I mean, Alexander didn't make the album because it wasn't good enough, basically. The story is, and I think a guy like Alexander deserves, all of these people deserve a great song, at least the best we can. And if we don't feel this is the best we could have done, then we shouldn't do it, actually. It goes for everything we do. Yeah, sure, there are songs that aren't going to be everyone's favorites or even our own, but at least we know. I think for me, at least, that's the only way I can go forward. It's like, okay, yeah, it might not be the best one, but it was, at least I fucking gave everything, you know,
right.
And tried.
Yeah. Then
I can live with it, because we had that in the past, in the demo days when you let stuff go, and it, you know, even if those demos are heard, it still haunts me. You know?
But you reconcile yourself to that by saying that the person I was at that time was doing his best.
Yes,
yeah.
Then I'm totally fine with it, actually, even though it's pretty crap, some of it.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, for research, some of them are quite thorough, and you have to throw all of that away. A long time ago, we did a song about Stalingrad. Right. And I did, what's his name, Anthony Beaver did a book about that.
He did.
And bunch of that, looked at the documentaries and watched the movie as well. So like, I'm ready for this. And I had so much information, I came up with nothing. And this is, I think, 2004. So, I mean, this is not where all information is easily accessible on the internet. But I found somebody who had taken an old Russian soldier's diary and translated it. It was only 8 or 12 pages. And then I used that as the basis for it. Obviously, I had read the other stuff, so I had some background info, obviously. But it's very, very different, the process on what to choose when. I guess the song tells us. How do I say this? Sorry. The songs. This is gonna sound very hippie. I am sorry. The emotional language of the song is also in some way dictating what story we're telling and how we're telling it. If that makes any sense at all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's a sort of feeling, there's a kind of mood, and then that takes you towards a subject.
Yes.
If I'm understanding correctly, yeah.
it feels hippie to say, but when you have a bunch of songs and a bunch of ideas, and they are sort of attracted to each other.
Yeah. Are there any characters that you would have liked to? I mean, putting Alexander the Great aside, any characters you'd have liked to bring to this album, but didn't the song just didn't gel? You didn't have the mood. You didn't have the feel for it.
There were several. I would have loved to make one about the Berserker at Stamford Bridge, for example.
Oh, okay. This is 1066.
Yeah.
The prequel.
Yeah.
Okay. Harold Hardrada. I don't want to be pernickety about my Harolds. But, since you asked. So this is the battle that preceded the Battle of Hastings. The Norwegians. Everyone knows what we're talking about. But a historically literate crowd can't always be guaranteed at my events. Well, that would be. So what I think I'm asking you is there really going to be Legends Volume 2? Because it sounds like there's so much material out there, and given that history is the sum total of all human.
I think it depends on how we feel about this in, let's say, a year or 3, whenever we're ready to do another album, and it depends on how did the fans react to the album. Was this something that was appreciated? And if the answer is yes on both, maybe we're not going to call it Legends Part 2, but for me, this was so interesting and so much fun, because we're everywhere. So when writing lyrics, you're not stuck with one vocabulary. When we did the 2 previous albums, Great War and the War to End All Wars, loved it, but the second time around, it felt like, okay, how many ways can I say artillery? And now we get Hannibal leading beast and man through the cold and snow. It's like, yes.
Which leads me to the next question. You're going to take this out on the road. You're going to be playing shows. You're back in London in early December, I believe. It's at the O2. Who's going? Okay. We'll have some friendly faces, some familiar faces.
Baby Metal were at in May. You guys obviously collaborate with them.
Yes, indeed.
There we go.
I'll ask a question about that later.
Okay. I have one question. Will you be bringing, like Hannibal, an elephant onto stage instead of in place of the tank?
Here's the thing.
Or have I given away the...
No, we're
It's a
not.
guess. I don't know anything.
No, we are not. But it went so far as that there are drawings. That's how far we took that.
Okay. Wow. Well, listen. Who feels like they've got a question for Joakim from the floor? Okay. I think
Or for Dan.
Well, never mind me. Happy to answer them, but not going to historically fact check anymore, I promise you. So let's open it up to the floor, and we can widen this discussion out. Who would like to ask the first question? Young man in the front row here.
How do you feel about Tommy leaving?
Oh, Tommy leaving. It was sad, but in the same way, it's nothing that's gonna, bring us down, because we're still very, very good friends. And Tommy left not because he was angry with us or anything. It was just like, I love you guys. He basically said, I love you guys, but I have so many things I want to do. And he was pretty honest about, I want to do all of these things, but I do not have time to do with them if I'm in Sabaton, because if you're in Sabaton, Sabaton has to be your main priority, and that is the rule to be in the band. And he was pretty honest about it. So it was we were very sad to see him go, but at the same time, it was for the right reasons for him, and also we got our brother Tobbe back after 8 years of vacation.
And how does that feel? I mean, over the years, you've had a rotating cast around you within the band, and how does that feel? Is that the key buy-in for people? That once you're in Sabaton, that is it. It's everything. How do you work?
It doesn't have to be everything, but we don't want. I mean, people can of course prioritize their own families, health, and all of these things, but we don't want them to prioritize any other musical activities. And all of those things are okay. If Sabaton isn't doing anything, if somebody wants to go on tour with something else, or do a solo album, that's all fine. But we cannot have a situation where we're booking a tour and somebody says, no, I'm going on my own European tour at that time. So we can't tour the US or whatever it is.
And do you find that if you look back over a quarter of a century, give or take.
Thanks for making me feel old. You could have said 25 years, but you went for a quarter of a century.
When you look back over a certain percentage of a millennium, I mean, do you feel that actually that openness to refreshing, to changing, however you want to call it, the lineup has kept an energy about the band?
Yeah, I mean, anything can change in anyone's life. When you're starting a band, you're drinking beer, you're dreaming about getting a record deal one day. Everybody will swear on their mother's grave that I'm gonna be a rock musician no matter what. Then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, you're in your, let's say, early 30s, starting a family, having kids. The idea of not being there when they're born, or, you know, being gone, all of these things come in. And everybody wants to be a rock star at any price until it's time to pay the price. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with that. I mean, our old drummer, by the way, good friend still, his son, if you've seen the video of Hordes of Khan, the drummer kid, that's our original drummer's son. And he's not pretending. He fucking knew the song inside out. He was 11 years old. So how hard his dad drilled him, I don't want to know. Because that's not an easy song. But yeah, everybody wants to be in until it's time to pay the price. And it is okay to step aside. I mean, most people, I have got nothing against them. The problem comes when in 2012, for us, for example, we wanted different things. We realized everybody wanted to be in Sabaton. But a large portion of the band wanted Sabaton to be something that was, we can do an album every 5 years, and every 3 years we do a tour. And that was maybe what they had been working towards. But for me and Per, who had chosen not to have too many or too stable long-term jobs, felt not betrayed, but it's like, but that's not what we agreed on. That's not what we've been working towards. We are now at the borderline where we can go all in, at least take the chance and possibly be professional musicians. And it's now time to take that step. And another part of the band wants to take that step back. So at that point, we basically had to agree to disagree. So me and Per bought them out of the company that we had together and said, okay. So they started their own band, which is still going, but most of them aren't playing in that even anymore. So.
Well, there we go. Have we got another question from the floor? Wow. Okay. Look at those.
Just to let you know, the cable, the microphone is cabled here, or wired. So if you want to ask a question, you can't be all the way in the back.
If it's not on film, you didn't ask it.
Yeah. So, hello, Joakim. My name's Dara. I'm a Sabaton fan. I live here in London, but I'm Irish. Sweden's rivals in Eurovision. I respect the Swedes though. So, I got a question. I've actually got two questions. But I'm going to ask one now. You guys released a song named "The Attack of the Dead Men," and I've seen a while ago a Russian guy I follow, Oleg Abrov, aka Radio Topok. You guys made a music video that he did of Attack of the Dead Men when he did a Russian cover. My question to you is, given what he's been doing now with 2 albums, are you still friends with Oleg? And what do you think of his stuff these days?
Absolutely. I mean, we've known him for quite some few years. I mean, we're not best of buddies, but we've been working together. He joined us on stage for Attack of the Dead Men when we played in Moscow in 2020.
You guys sung that both in English and Russian.
Yeah, and he took the verses and did them in Russian because he did a cover of that. For those of you who don't know, Oleg is called Radio Topok. It's his stage name, and it's basically own music, but also covers, remade, and he rewrites the lyrics into Russian. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to be able to share the stage with him again. Unfortunately, we're in a very different situations where that isn't really possible. People think sometimes that, you know, because conflict is going on, because we had this coming over us, especially when we released the last album. But here's the thing, we don't really give a shit about what politicians deal with and get up with. And we want to play for the metalheads. And I don't care if that metalhead is Swedish, Israeli, Russian, or what the fuck they are, you know. So I'm looking forward to working with Ollie again, if that happens.
You guys, he actually originally wrote Defense of Moscow, and you guys covered it, right?
Yeah, we had to troll him. For those who don't know, he made a song about the defense of Moscow, and he had made so many Sabaton covers, so we decided to take his song, translate it into English, and make a video and release it.
But there's a bigger point here that I think you're addressing. Thank you for the question, which is about like the relationship between music and politics, musicians and politicians, and the sort of folding together in the world at the moment of big issues, culture wars, with absolutely everything, right? And have you found over the not very long time that you've been making music that it's become harder to hold the line that you're holding, which is we don't fucking care about politics. We're making musicians for the metalheads. I mean, are you just finding this is a line that's getting harder to hold, or that you're just being asked about more?
We are getting asked more, but it's actually easier.
It's easier just to have a
because you know, when you're younger, you care more about what people think. And here's the thing: we genuinely, sorry for the language, don't give a fuck about those things. And people are asking, how could you sing about that? Or how can you play that song live now that country is doing that? That song is covering events that happened 100 years ago. And you know what? As soon as we remove one song from our fucking set list based on any of those things, we are making a stand. Until we do, as long as we don't give a shit. And even if we go to Germany and play The Rise of Evil, which contain the words, the Reich will rise, which we have done. It's funny to see the German promoter. But as long as we are not even going into that discussion or dealing with that, that's our way to stay neutral, if you will.
Who's got another question?
Me, please.
And Mike here at the back.
Me, please is okay. I heard a me, please from somewhere down the front. If it was,
I have another mic here at the back, guys.
The giant finger of fate is hovering over.
Hello, my name's Alex. Hi, all the way from Ukraine, actually.
Hey!
I've been waiting for being able to see you for almost 7 years. I have been listening to you since I was 12. And the question is, will there be any Sabaton posters? Because I'm doing my poster walls and I really need Sabaton posters.
Oh, good questions. Aren't there any posters in our web shop?
No, they were on the flags.
Shit, I'm so sorry. Now this is embarrassing, if anything.
Time to get drawing.
I will speak to the Sabaton
Thank you
web
very
shop.
much. And there's no Ukrainian flag, just so you know.
There isn't.
There isn't. There's Polish one, but no Ukrainian one.
We haven't been. I mean, that I can explain though, because we usually print those flags with the Sabaton logo when we go on tour, and it's been a while since we were able to play in the Ukraine.
Fair enough.
And after we played in Crimea, I was on a website as a persona non grata to enter Ukraine. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I heard about that.
So sorry.
I'll be waiting for you in the front row.
Yeah, I'll get on the posters.
Okay, I think you found yourself a new member of staff on the merch side of the business. Have we got any more questions? Thank you for the question. Okay. Oh my goodness, who has a question? All right.
It's a birthday girl, by the way. It's birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Go on.
That makes us one next. My birthday's on Saturday.
Would you ever consider making a song about the Battle of Trafalgar?
The Battle of Trafalgar.
We have thought about it.
The British victory of the Scottish French.
But here's the thing. We actually gone so far as I can't make any promises here. I'm trying to be open without telling too much. As in, not that we wanna. It's basically we don't want to disappoint anyone. So we don't want to make any promises and then sort of not make it happen and make people disappointed. But an album about naval warfare, where that particular battle you mentioned, Battle of Trafalgar, has been in the talks. If we're going to make it, though, I can't make any promises, because honestly, we've had so many things that we felt, oh, this is amazing, but then 3 years down the line, we're not feeling it. We tried to push it once. The Last Stand was originally supposed to be about something else, and we tried and we wrote lyrics and we did everything, but it didn't get right, so we changed.
Amazing. Would you put the in this naval hypothetical naval album? Would you put the Battle of Sandwich, where Eustace the monk got beheaded on his own ship? Just you don't have to answer now. Another question from the floor. Okay. You choose. I can't bear it. Breaks my heart to say no. Famously.
What's your favourite song that you've sung?
What's your favourite song that you've sung?
Swedish pagans.
No, yeah, right. There's been many good ones, but I think actually maybe Phantom of the Opera.
You mean the song by Nightwish?
No, the song by Andrew Lloyd Webber. Karaoke. I mean, I've done Barbie Girls karaoke as well, fair enough. Not my favorite, but when we're talking about Sabaton stuff, though, if you're asking, I think it's usually going to be To Hell and Back or Prima Victoria, not because of the songs themselves, because they become quite neutral to us, because we play them a lot, thousands of times, but because of the memories. We're asking the people, will you sing with us? Will you jump with us? And people, this is towards the end of the concert, people are, giving everything. And I can kind of close my eyes and have a very short amount of time of career.
The last 3 or 4 months, yeah.
And I can replay that. I got so many memories from smiling, happy metalheads from basically half the world, singing to that song and jumping with us. So, Prima Victoria, yes.
Fantastic.
Okay. Thank you for answering.
Thank you very much. What a great question that was. How about this gentleman here raising one finger? Yep. Yes, you. You sir.
First of all, it's lovely to meet you. You're my favourite vocalist, and Sabaton's my favourite band. So great to meet you.
Okay.
I sound like a right fanboy there, don't I?
Self-selecting group, man. It's a safe space. Don't worry.
It's all good. I remember, I think you said the first London gig you ever did, not too long ago, was, say fanboy, it was at the Purple Turtle in London.
First headline, yes.
First headline. I was wondering what other sort of venues you did in London before Sabaton made it big?
The first one we did was Astoria. It's been torn down now. But that was supporting Dragon Force and Edguy.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that was a horrible experience. We were supposed to have a 30-minute set. We got cut down to 15 minutes. Our set started exactly at the same time as Doors.
Oh, wow. No.
So when we went on stage,
No one
2 minutes too late, we wanted to be on time. The stage manager said, I start the show and I stop the show. And I said, okay, time to start the show. Because we wanted our 15 minutes, obviously. And he said, no, nobody's in, so it doesn't make sense. So he let us on 2.5 minutes in, because that's the time it took to get from, the Doors to the hall. I think 15 people were in the room when we started playing. We played the set, and when there was, our quarter was up, but we'd actually only been on for 13 minutes. He starts saying, your time is up. And I run over because it's a guitar solo, like, dude, you started us late. We are going to be under 15 minutes, but we're going to need 14 and a half. He's like, I said I started the show, and I end the show. So I basically said, well, screw you, man. Ran back out on stage. He walked out on stage, this is during the song Panzer Battalion, and he lifted Pat, our bass player, and started carrying him off stage. And then we had a break in the song after the solo, where we're supposed to restart the song, and the guitar riff starts again. At that point, I'm like, thank you, London, we love you!
So do you look back on experiences like that? You play in the O2 in December. Yeah. Like, will you look back on experiences like that when you come to an O2 and it's your show and it's it's the whole thing? Is that part of the journey, or was that guy just an asshole? Both
both are true.
No,
most of these things, not all of them. If it's not too serious, it becomes a good story and it's fun. It's type B fun though. Type A fun is type fun doing and talking about. Type B fun isn't very fun when it happens, but a couple of years down the line it's good, and fun.
Maybe he works at the antenna.
Thanks.
Well, it's safe to say we're having type A fun right now. Who's got another question? Well, it's quite a few more questions. Right. Oh, yeah, someone's got the mic. All right, you're on the mic.
So obviously you work with Nothing More, with Crossing your Room on. Has there been other bands that approached you to work with, or do you want to work with other bands now that you stretching out with other bands?
Yes, I mean, I get mostly it's other people asking me to sing on their stuff. I say no to almost everything. I have this rule that if I do something like that, I do it for free because it's fun.
Yeah.
So when I did it with Grail Knights, a band probably most of you haven't heard, but the band we toured with, they're also releasing an album tomorrow, by the way. Check them out. And it was our old guitar player, or now back in guitar players, Tobbe. His band, when he was out of the band, I sang with him. I've done with Baby Metal. And Udo Dirk Schneider asked me to sing on Balls to the Wall, which means, yes, you do it. But no, in general, I say no to everything. But the stuff that comes my way, that I get genuinely excited about, or just like, hey, sounds like a blast, let's do it. That's when I do it. But actually having Nothing More with us, that's kind of unique because we haven't really incorporated other bands into Sabaton so much. But there are certainly a few that would.
What would be your dream band to work with?
They're all dead. Freddie Mercury, Ronnie James Dio, you all know who they are.
Yes, well, keep the mic, I guess, just there, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go over this side.
How are you doing today? Just
Me?
Yeah.
I'm bloody brilliant, thank you. And you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for asking. A genuine other question is, now that the new album is out, does that mean we get more episodes of Sabaton history?
Yes, indeed. We do have a bit of a problem, though. Because, it's only meaning it's a delay. Don't worry. We normally have a deal with, copyrights and stuff, where we have access to archive materials for our Sabaton History channel, a YouTube channel. And we can only do like a trailer in a 3.5 minute heavy metal song. In Sabaton History, we have real historians helping us tell the story and interviews with us. And normally we'll have archive material, which is really easy when we're dealing with, modern warfare. However, there isn't that much we can get a hold of if we're talking about ancient Egypt. And we do not want to lean too much into the AI thing. So we're looking to find a solution where we don't have to use AI to generate all of the content we need for that. But getting hold of material for some of these legends we've been singing about is going to be a problem. And we do want some of that included as well. We can't only have middle-aged men and maps.
No, it's taken me quite a far. Do you want to say a little bit more about AI? Just, it's a hot topic at the moment, but how you kind of view all the, this revolution we're living through from the perspective of an artist as a creator.
I have nothing against the technology in itself. Actually, I think it's all about how we use the technologies, and historically we're very bad at it.
Right.
I mean, a knife can be something that saves your life or kills another person. You can cut meat with it or whatever. Same with AI. Only what we've seen so far. I've been looking into a little bit what only AI analysis can do of medical research and what new conclusions can come from all of this. It's amazing. I just think it's wrong. Writing music is awesome and fun. Why are you making AI to do that? Get the fucking machine that can take care of my laundry. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Right. Do you find it interesting, as someone with an interest in history, to be living through a revolution, or is it like the Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times? I mean, where do you...
I think it's really interesting times.
Really interesting.
Yeah. And,
I like boring times.
Yeah.
As a time to live in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was boring for a while. And, I mean, it probably, the fall of the Soviet Union up until quite recently, or probably, you would know that more than anyone in this room, is probably unparalleled in history on how
largely
calm it was. So I think, unfortunately, times are changing.
That's a song. Right, let's have a question over this side of the room. Where's the mic got to? I can't see it. Okay, go on. I've got a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And not a lot of people will understand my question.
Will I?
Så vi kan inte komma till december. Beräknad att komma dagen efter.
Grattis!
Min fråga är, kör ni mer låtar i svenska i framtiden eller ska ni köra mer låtar live på svenska?
I was going to ask that question actually.
Let me translate.
She's asking about if they couldn't make the show in December because they're having a baby the day after. Sorry for outing you. But asking about if we're doing more stuff in Swedish. Because we have some songs in Swedish, some songs are available in both languages, but most of the songs that we have that's available in Swedish, only Swedish or both Swedish and English, it's been proven that it seems like most of the fans wants to hear those in Swedish. So we're going to stick with the Swedish songs, if you will, sing them in Swedish instead of English.
Yes! Yes!
What language do you dream in? Not in this.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't remembered my dream for a long time, but usually Swedish, I guess.
Swedish. Just a question. Oh, look at that. Yes, here in the front, right on the far left down here.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I love you, Sabaton. I am a huge fan. Are you going to make any more things related with Kobe?
Kobe is we did a tank. It's a toy company. It's like Lego would be the closest Polish Lego. That's a good explanation, actually. We don't know, actually. It depends on what we're doing in the future. I mean, probably not for this album, considering we're singing about legends, but if we were to move, which I assume we are at some point in the future, moving to more modern times, maybe there will be battleships and stuff like that. That would be fun to do in Kobe Lego, right? What's your favorite? What would you like us to do? What would you like to build?
Probably maybe a giant battleship with a tank on, like, maybe D-Day, maybe?
We've already done D-Day, but battleship, I like your thinking.
Okay. All right. How about just to the right of the front?
Hi. So I used to be a lot more physically active. I was pro wrestler for 10 years and such things before I ended up diseased. It's kind of stopped me in my tracks. So I've been trying to get out and do more less physical things. And you mentioned shooting some of your video in Natural History Museum. And I've been going to a lot more those kind of historic venues and such. Is there anything that you've visited either in for videos or research and such that has really stuck with you? This could go for both of you really, because you're also following down the same route. So things that you'd recommend that are worth going to.
Well, you would know more here in the UK about these things than I do.
Well, I mean, have you been to Temple Church in London? So there's Temple. That's a little off the beaten track, but I suppose ties in with your Templars. I like Dover Castle. There's got nuclear bunkers under. Anyone been down the nuclear bunkers and the cliffs under Dover Castle? They're fantastic. I mean, look, there's so much in the UK to see.
Bletchley Park.
Bletchley Park. Well, you know, when you travel, let's say when you're on tour, do you take time to go and see the local sites, visit the museums, or you know, is that part of your itinerary?
Yeah, for me it depends on what the other options are at the moment. Sometimes I get tired of cities. I like hiking in nature, so if I get a chance to do that, I'll always take that if there's something. But certainly, I would say it has a long and complicated name, but if you're ever in Brussels, their National Army Museum, it's called the Museum of the the Royal Museum of the Armed Forces, and yeah, it's a long name. But if you have the chance to see that, they got a pretty damn rich history as a country, and they got a pretty impressive collection. And we did the pre-listening session there for it was the War to End All Wars. Great tour guides, stuff you don't see everywhere, and if you're ever in that part of Europe, I recommend that museum for sure.
Anywhere you'd particularly like to film? Is there somewhere, you know, I mean, you did the Natural History Museum, you did the Great Castle in Serbia. Is there any sort of venue, you know, what's your dream venue to make a Sabaton video?
Karlskrona.
Karlskrona, we played there actually. It's a Swedish military, naval base town, I guess you could call it. I was actually supposed to be a guard there in my military service.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I was waiting for surgery, and they told me, no, you're in the reserves now. Which worked out well, because I'm playing heavy metal now instead. No, for me, I would say, I don't really think there's any place I would like to record a video at all, because I don't like videos, if I'm honest. But
I would like to do this, you know, when Pink Floyd played in Pompeii or whatever, you know, that famous show.
Yeah, for me, I want to play live at Normandy Beach.
Wow.
That's on the 6th of June, you know, and I want the people to come in. Those who buy VIP tickets should come on fucking landing craft, you know. We put a stage on the bunkers.
Well, there's a thought. Right, I think we've got time for at least 2 more questions. Well, you've asked one already. We've got lots of people who want to, who've got their hands up.
Hello, Joakim. My name is Konstantin. I come from Greece, actually. And I'm actually waiting for the Alexander the Great song that you mentioned now. Shit. I'm gonna do it now. My question is, we've seen albums about World War I and World War II. Should we expect something a bit maybe later, maybe a Cold War era album or something like that?
Would be about the proxy wars, you mean, or the Cold War itself?
Both. Okay. Something later than World War II.
Yeah, I mean, that was my sort of main historical interest a couple of years ago, all the behind-the-scenes stuff during the Cold War. Spy games as well, hugely interesting. But we realize it's better, I mean, with our music, spies, no, it's not going to work really. Battles for sure, anything along those lines. But it's important to remember that we're very passionate about history, but we are amateurs. We need to look at the work of real historians and enough time has to pass that we can trust that they don't have a skin in the game, in the sense that they're at least as objective as possible, and to be able to look at several sources and not only one. And the more recent the conflict, the harder that is.
Yeah, a lot of this is still. Did you see a movie called Warfare that just came out a couple of months ago? You've got to see. Anyone seen Warfare? Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza. It's set in the Iraq War in 2006. I'll tell you about it later. It's incredible.
Write it down.
But it somewhat makes history of very, very recent events only 20 years ago. So let's have. I think we can do 2 more questions. Where is that microphone? Let's see if we can get it back there to the gentleman with that hand up. Yep.
Oh, well, now I get starstruck. Okay.
Not sticking, my friends.
Yeah. With there having been so many films made about singers and bands, if a film was to be made about Sabaton, who would you like to play you, and also who would you think would be best to play the rest of the band?
Carl Urban.
Sabaton movie, the biopic.
Pedro Pascal.
For me, considering what everybody screams after me in Las Vegas, it's probably Chuck Liddell, MMA fighter, because that's the person people I've been most like. Hey man, can we take a picture? What are you doing in Vegas? We're playing a show. What show? And you Chuck Liddell? I'm like, do I look like a 58-year-old retired MMA fighter? No, I don't know actually. Considering the amount of alcohol and the stupid shit we did 20 years ago, I hope that movie never comes.
This sounds like a good movie to me. Okay, where's the mic on? See if you can get it over there. There's a guy.
Yep, go on.
Yeah. No,
hold on. Hi, Joakim, remember me from the RF Museum?
When?
2 years ago when we went to see the water indoors and I took you around.
Aha, yes.
Yeah, how are you doing? You okay?
Very good. Are you?
My question is, how was the Race to the Sea filmed? Did you actually flood the room?
No, we were in a mine lake in Czech Republic.
Oh, wow.
So it was pretty damn cold, but we had, we call it wetsuits under. And all of those instruments are obviously dead because they absorbed the water and the drum kit and everything. But yeah, we were basically going in and out of the water for the whole night. We kept warm with heaters in a tent and beer.
Oh, wow.
And then they said, retake one more time. Like, oh,
The Stella blanket, nothing keeps you warmer. Well, listen, we've been talking for an hour. Who's enjoyed this session? Who's looking forward to Legends coming tomorrow? Who's going to stay and get it signed? Let's do a signing. Joakim, you are a legend. This has been Type A fun. Thank you so much. On behalf of everybody, there will now be a signing and there'll be more fun. I should know where that's going to happen. I don't.